Today I'm doing this standard technical overview. When I got the topic, I didn't prepare anything because I've been doing it more than 10 times. But this is new. This is something I made this morning. So I want to talk about, sorry. So since this is the first time I do a tech talk this year, I want to make this a recap of what happened last year and what I think the industry is moving to in 2019. So the first question, this is my opening question would be, what is our top 3 question that you got asked in events, like the Binance event today? What do people talk to you and what people ask you about?
How do we get adoption? How do we scale up?
Yeah, scalabilities, like use cases. Like, actually for me, the top 3 question I often receive when I was in an event is, when is your ICOs? Is there any airdrops? And are you listed on any exchange? So early last year, when the hype is there, I always got asked these 3 questions. Our project is unique because we didn't do any ICOs and we don't have a white paper. We don't do any airdrops anymore since last year, and we are listed on most exchanges. So in a very early stage, people are like wondering about this industry, asking about the ICOs. But then starting from the bear market, which happened about 3 months ago, there are some changes to the industry. First, we become more widely known, which is very tricky. Because when the bear market started, we are relatively lesser known. We are ranked number 10 or number 12 in the coinmarketcap.com. But now we are the top 5 or top 6 cryptos in the world. Not because we are doing good, because our competitors are not doing very good. But then the people who reach out to me in the past 3 months or past 6 months, they are trying to build something useful, utilizing the engineering architecture that we have instead of doing just crypto tradings. So I think this is a good direction that we see in the last 3 months. And we actually incubated a few very good projects, which I just talked about, the Velo, the Lightnet. And funding. In terms of funding, we are doing really well. Most people probably don't know. We did an acquisition last year, and rumor said it's the largest acquisition in cryptocurrency ever. It is really large. But in terms of funding, I think what we bring to our board is not just money, but also the company Chain, which we acquired, had 40 million investment from NASDAQ and Citigroup before. So it's the trust from the traditional financial institutions that start to be interested in cryptocurrencies, and we have that trust in our board. Some of them exit, some of them didn't. But yeah, that's all I can share about that. So in terms of funding, our projects are moving into the more traditional financial institution model, okay, instead of a cryptocurrency model. And tokenization and DEX. We always believe, at Stellar, we always believe that asset should be issued on blockchain because it's like transaction is faster. It removes any intermediary risk, and also it's more transparent. So we built this decentralized exchange called Stellar X last year to facilitate token exchanges, token issuance. So make sure that when you issue an asset, your asset is listed on exchange in day 1. So yeah, so that's the 3 things that funding. I missed the order a little bit. But since this is a technical discussion, I'm going to talk a little bit on the technical visions and what we want to achieve in the next few years or a few years. First is the payment protocol. We are not building a mobile wallet company. We are not building a settlement company. We are not building a clearinghouse. What we want to build is a payment protocol where the customer don't really see us. So what does it mean by protocol? Imagine that you're building a email client. And you want to send your, You want to build an email client, and what you're going to do is you're going to find a protocol that most people agrees on, as in the protocol, as in people, as in how the formatting of the email, and how the transmission channels of the email supports, right? So imagine that you're not using any protocol, you're just building a product, and you want to send email to Google, and you have to know the email server address of Gmail, right? And you want to send email to Outlook, you have to talk to Microsoft and know their email servers and know which pod they open to receiving emails. But instead of that, everyone agreed to the same protocol. So people who agreed on the same protocol, which is called SMTP protocol, can send email to each other. So that's what SMTP protocol is. And that's what we believe that Stellar is in terms of cryptocurrency, in terms of value exchanges, right? Sending an email is different from sending money because email can be copied and money cannot be copied. So that's why we introduced Lumen to our ecosystem, because Lumen is something that can guarantee the value. That cannot be copied. Yeah. So PBFT, consensus. Some of the projects, Zilliqa also use PBFT. PBFT have its uniqueness. The top 4 algorithms for consensus today is POW, POS, DPoS, and PBFT. PBFT is, in my own opinion, PBFT is suitable for small alliance of nodes agree on very specific tasks like payments. So our PBFT, our version of PBFT is a upgraded version from Ripple's because we used to be a Ripple fork. We mimic the real world human trust into the blockchain world because the way that a node joins a Stellar is a node will select which quorum they would like to join. So they have the power to choose which nodes help them to reach consensus. So that's the way that that we develop the reputation, or not reputation, but really the trust model in the network, so that it's very easy to join. Anyone could join the public chain on Stellar, and it's very hard to compromise because the new nodes that join the network don't have trust, don't have anyone who depend on it, don't have anyone who trust on it as the validator nodes. So that way we guarantees both fast, we guarantee both speed, transaction cost, security, and we sacrifice a little bit of decentralization because we do have a recommended list of nodes that most people will recommend, depends on, but we sacrifice a little bit of security and build this PBFT. Tokenization DEX, just like I mentioned just now, we launched StellarX.com last year, and we use that exchange to support future token issuance on the network. A mission. Stellar's mission is to build a open and easy to use financial system for the underbanked people. Yeah, and how do we get there? We need a great engineering infrastructure. Some of the tools that we already have available on our website, I listed some of them here. We also have consulting services, which my employer actually provides. Interstellar, we provide consulting services for that. But all these tools are free. First is the network tools, what you call Stellar Core. Stellar Core is really the open source library that help nodes reach consensus and archive data. That's it. So consensus layer, all the layer 1 thing are in the network tools, which we call Stellar Core. Second one, accessibility tools. It's called Horizon. Horizon ingests the data in Stellar Core and format it in a user-friendly manner so that developer can use it and to check data. It's like a blockchain browser, but very raw. Yeah. Guidance on payment standard. So think about, have you ever heard about Swift network? Swift is really a guidance on how banks do money transfers. So we do that as well. We want to be the Swift in the blockchain. So we have recommendations on how KYC and ML documents are sent over the network. off the chain, not on chain. And we also have trading exchanges on chain to do settlement, to do fiat currency to crypto settlement. But again, these guidance are like a protocol which our partners agrees on, so that if you join our network, you can utilize this network to do money remittances or payments to any of the other parties in our network. So that's how it works. SDKs, officially we support JavaScript and Golang SDKs. In the community, there's also PHP and Java and iOS SDKs. So mobile developers, theoretically, mobile developers can use the SDKs easily. Yeah, because Android is Java, and yeah, iOS we also have. User-friendly addressing scheme. So think about one of the biggest issues in blockchain, that when people transfer money. When I transfer money to my friend in Singapore, I use mobile phone numbers. But when I transfer Bitcoins to another person, I have to copy and paste a bunch of characters. So this addressing scheme that we designed is like a domain resolution service, if you know networking. So imagine that I have a bank account with DBS. So my ID, my cryptocurrency ID in DBS will become michael*dbs.com. And anyone who have an account with another anchor that we have in another country will have a similar human readable address. So that's the addressing scheme that we designed for easier money remittances and transfers. Finally is token distribution. So we designed this locking mechanism and also additional issuance and also locking of additional issuance. So we designed this mechanism for people to easily create new tokens or destroy new tokens or lock up account for tokens, so that it's easier to meet certain financial and regulatory needs. So recently there is this discussion of STOs. Stellar provides a full set of STO solutions as well. We are not providing it officially, but we have solutions on Stellar Network to fully support all the Reg D, Reg S regulatory requirements on Stellar Network. Yeah. So that's what we have been working on in the past. Looking into 2019, we have new projects coming up. I'm not sharing a lot of them, but it is something to do with mobile wallets, payments, and if you're interested to talk to me afterwards, happy to.